What if I told you that one silent film actress was Hollywood's first millionaire by age 24, while another star literally buried $1 million in his backyard? When today's biggest names make headlines for their $20 million paychecks, they're actually following a playbook written nearly a century ago by Golden Age legends who amassed fortunes that would make modern billionaires jealous. Number 15, Harold Lloyd, $35 million. Harold Lloyd wasn't just competing with Chaplin and Keaton, he was quietly out-earning them both while building Hollywood's smartest business empire. This bespectacled daredevil turned every death-defying stunt into cold, hard cash, commanding unprecedented salaries for his thrill-a-minute comedies that had audiences screaming with both laughter and terror. His signature move, hanging from clock towers while negotiating million-dollar deals. Lloyd's genius wasn't just physical comedy, it was financial wizardry. While other stars spent their fortunes on mansions and parties, Lloyd invested in Southern California real estate when Los Angeles was still orange groves and dusty roads. His 44-room Beverly Hills estate, Green Acres, became a symbol of Hollywood excess, complete with 12 fountains and a 900-foot canoe stream. But the real moneymaker was his massive land portfolio across the San Fernando Valley. Critics initially dismissed Lloyd as a Chaplin knockoff, but audiences couldn't get enough of his everyman persona tackling impossible situations. His films consistently outgrossed the competition, and Lloyd demanded creative control plus percentage deals that were revolutionary for the 1920s. Unlike his contemporaries who struggled with the transition to sound films, Lloyd retired at his peak, focusing on managing his investments. When he died in 1971, his estate revealed the true scope of his wealth, real estate holdings that had multiplied exponentially, making him one of Hollywood's richest retirees. Number 14, Spencer Tracy, $50 million. Spencer Tracy became Hollywood's most reliable leading man by mastering the art of making difficult acting look effortless, all while building a fortune that reflected his no-nonsense approach to both craft and business. This Irish Catholic tough guy from Milwaukee transformed his working-class background into box office gold, becoming MGM's highest-paid male star and the first actor to win back-to-back Best Actor Oscars. Tracy's secret weapon wasn't just his natural acting style, it was his shrewd understanding of star power economics. He negotiated contracts that guaranteed him top billing and profit participation, revolutionary moves that established precedents still used today. His legendary partnership with Katherine Heepburn wasn't just romantic magic on screen, it was a financial powerhouse that generated consistent hits and massive paychecks for both stars. Hollywood insiders knew Tracy as the professional's professional, an actor who could elevate any script while demanding respect and proper compensation. His performances in films like Captain's Courageous and Boys Town earned critical acclaim, but it was his business acumen that built lasting wealth. Tracy invested wisely in real estate and blue-chip stocks, maintaining a diversified portfolio that grew steadily throughout his career. Even his personal struggles, including his long-term relationship with Hepburn while married to another woman, never affected his bankability or earning power in an era when scandals could destroy careers overnight. Number 13, Audrey Hepburn, $55 million. Audrey Hepburn transformed elegance into an empire, becoming fashion's first global ambassador while commanding salaries that reflected her unique ability to make any film an instant classic. Born into wartime hardship in Belgium, this former ballet dancer revolutionized Hollywood glamour with her gamine charm and became one of the highest-paid actresses of the 1950s and 1960s. Hepburn's breakthrough in Roman Holiday wasn't just a star-making performance. It was a masterclass in brand building. She smartly aligned herself with designer Hubert de Givenchy, creating a fashion partnership that influenced style for decades while generating enormous licensing revenue. Her little black dress in Breakfast at Tiffany's became the most iconic costume in film history, a piece of pop culture that continues earning money for her estate today. Critics and audiences alike worshipped Hepburn's ability to embody both sophistication and vulnerability, making her the perfect leading lady for romantic comedies and dramas. Her films consistently performed well internationally, and she negotiated deals that included profit participation and approval rights over her image. Beyond acting, Hepburn's humanitarian work as a UNICEF ambassador elevated her global profile and earning potential. What separated Hepburn from other stars was her business-minded approach to fame. She carefully controlled her public image, limiting interviews and appearances to maintain mystique while maximizing her market value. Her real estate investments in Switzerland and Rome, combined with savvy licensing deals for her image and style, created multiple revenue streams that continued generating wealth long after her retirement from acting. Number 12. Carrie Grant, $60 million. Carrie Grant arrived in America with $40 and a dream, then spent 4 decades perfecting the art of sophisticated charm while building one of Hollywood's most substantial fortunes through unprecedented contract negotiations and smart business moves. This British-born leading man redefined what it meant to be a movie star, transforming his Cockney accent into transatlantic elegance that made him the template for modern leading men. Grant's revolutionary approach to his career centered on independence and control. He was among the first major stars to break free from the restrictive studio system, choosing to work as a freelance actor who could pick and choose projects while negotiating percentage deals that made him far wealthier than contract players. His collaboration with directors like Alfred Hitchcock produced classics that showcase Grant's unique ability to balance comedy and suspense. Hollywood executives initially resisted Grant's unconventional demands, but his consistent box office success made him indispensable. Films like North by Northwest and To Catch a Thief demonstrated his star power while generating enormous profits that Grant shared through his savvy deal-making. Critics praised his natural screen presence and impeccable timing, qualities that made him equally effective in screwball comedies and romantic thrillers. Beyond acting, Grant proved himself a shrewd investor and businessman. His stake in Fabergé Cosmetics alone generated millions when the company went public, while his real estate holdings in Beverly Hills and Palm Springs appreciated dramatically. Grant's international appeal allowed him to command higher salaries for overseas distribution, and his careful management of his public image ensured sustained earning power throughout his career and beyond. Number 11. John Wayne, $70 million. John Wayne didn't just play American heroes. He became one, transforming his Iowa farm boy persona into Hollywood's highest-grossing Western star while building a business empire that extended far beyond the silver screen. This former football player turned his athletic background and natural charisma into a career spanning 5 decades, becoming synonymous with rugged masculinity and patriotic values that resonated with audiences worldwide. Wayne's breakthrough came through his collaboration with director John Ford, who recognized the actor's screen presence and helped develop his iconic persona. But Wayne was more than just a performer. He was a savvy businessman who established his own production company, Batjack Productions, ensuring greater creative control and larger profit shares. His investment in The Alamo, which he also directed and produced, demonstrated his commitment to projects that reflected his personal values while generating substantial returns. Critics often dismissed Wayne's limited acting range, but audiences couldn't get enough of his straightforward heroism and unwavering moral compass. His films consistently topped box office charts, and Wayne demanded top dollar for his appearances, becoming one of the highest-paid actors of his era. His association with Western and war films created a brand identity that transcended individual movies, making him a valuable commodity for merchandise and endorsements. Wayne's wealth came from diversified investments, including cattle ranches, oil ventures, and extensive real estate holdings. His Newport Beach properties alone were worth millions, while his Arizona land investments positioned him to benefit from the post-war development boom. Even his controversial political views, which might have damaged other careers, seemed to enhance his appeal to core audiences, ensuring sustained earning power throughout his career. Number 10. Clark Gable, $75 million. Clark Gable earned his title as the King of Hollywood through raw charisma and smart business moves that transformed his small-town Ohio background into movie star gold, becoming MGM's highest-paid leading man and the definitive masculine ideal of the Golden Age. This former oil field worker and telephone repairman proved that authentic masculinity could be both commercially successful and critically acclaimed. Gable's breakthrough role in It Happened One Night demonstrated his unique ability to combine romantic charm with everyman appeal, winning him an Academy Award and establishing his value to studio executives. But it was his iconic performance as Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind that cemented his legend and earning power, creating a character so memorable that it continues generating revenue through re-releases and merchandise decades later. Hollywood producers initially worried that Gable's prominent ears and working-class background would limit his appeal, but audiences connected with his authentic screen presence and confident delivery. His collaborations with leading ladies like Joan Crawford and Carole Lombard produced box office hits that consistently exceeded expectations, making Gable one of the most bankable stars of his generation. Gable's business acumen extended beyond acting to smart investments in agricultural properties and oil exploration. His working ranches in the San Joaquin Valley provided both investment returns and tax advantages, while his oil stakes in Central California generated substantial royalty income. Unlike many stars who lived extravagantly, Gable maintained relatively modest personal expenses, allowing him to build wealth through careful financial management and strategic investments that continued growing throughout his career. Number 9. Bette Davis, $80 million. Bette Davis revolutionized what it meant to be a leading lady in Hollywood, transforming her unconventional looks and fierce personality into a career that redefined actress compensation and power dynamics in the studio system. This New England native refused to accept typical ingenue roles, instead fighting for complex characters that showcased her dramatic range while commanding unprecedented salaries and creative control. Davis's battle with Warner Brothers became legendary when she fled to England rather than accept inferior roles, ultimately winning a legal victory that established important precedents for actor rights and compensation. Her willingness to fight the studio system demonstrated that talent and determination could overcome contractual restrictions, paving the way for future generations of performers to demand fair treatment and proper payment. Critics consistently praised Davis's commitment to dramatic excellence, recognizing her ability to elevate mediocre scripts through sheer force of personality and professional skill. Her performances in films like All About Eve and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane proved that mature actresses could carry major productions, challenging Hollywood's youth-obsessed culture while generating substantial box office returns. Davis's wealth came from her groundbreaking salary negotiations and profit participation deals that were revolutionary for female performers. She invested wisely in real estate and maintained multiple revenue streams through television appearances and stage work. Her determination to control her career choices, even when it meant accepting lower salaries for prestige projects, ultimately enhanced her long-term earning potential and established her as one of Hollywood's most respected and wealthiest actresses. Number 8. Katherine Heepburn, $90 million. Katherine Heepburn redefined Hollywood stardom by refusing to conform to industry expectations, building a fortune through talent, determination, and an uncompromising commitment to artistic integrity that somehow translated into massive commercial success. This Connecticut blue blood brought intellectual sophistication to Hollywood, while proving that strong-willed women could be both critically acclaimed and financially successful. Hepburn's early career faced significant challenges when she was labeled box office poison by exhibitors, but she engineered one of Hollywood's greatest comebacks by purchasing the film rights to the Philadelphia story and negotiating her own terms for the movie adaptation. This shrewd business move not only revitalized her career, but established a template for star-driven development that continues today. Critics and audiences came to appreciate Hepburn's unique screen presence and fearless approach to complex characters, recognizing her ability to embody both vulnerability and strength in performances that transcended typical romantic comedy formulas. Her legendary partnership with Tracy created a series of successful films that showcased their chemistry while generating substantial profits for both stars. Hepburn's wealth accumulated through careful career management and smart financial decisions that reflected her upper-class background and practical New England values. She invested in prime Connecticut real estate and maintained a relatively modest lifestyle that allowed her earnings to grow consistently. Her record-breaking 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress enhanced her earning power and ensured sustained demand for her services throughout a career that spanned 6 decades. Number 7. Elizabeth Taylor, $125 million. Elizabeth Taylor transformed from child star to global icon while becoming Hollywood's first actress to command a $1 million salary, revolutionizing star compensation and proving that beauty combined with business savvy could create unprecedented wealth. Those famous violet eyes didn't just captivate audiences. They generated revenue streams that extended far beyond traditional acting salaries. Taylor's breakthrough came with her $1 million Cleopatra contract, a figure so staggering that it made international headlines and established new standards for star compensation. The film's massive budget and production challenges only enhanced Taylor's mystique, while her romance with co-star Richard Burton created a media sensation that increased her global value exponentially. Hollywood executives initially worried about Taylor's tumultuous personal life affecting her bankability, but audiences seemed fascinated by her off-screen drama, making her one of the first celebrities whose private life became as valuable as her professional work. Her multiple marriages and high-profile relationships generated constant publicity that enhanced her earning potential across all projects. Taylor's business empire extended beyond acting to include successful fragrance lines, jewelry collections, and real estate investments that multiplied her wealth. Her passion for jewelry wasn't just personal indulgence, it was strategic investment in portable assets that appreciated dramatically over time. Her HIV/AIDS activism in the 1980s demonstrated her ability to leverage fame for important causes while maintaining her public profile and commercial viability. Number 6. George Randolph Scott, $150 million. George Randolph Scott became the ultimate Western hero while secretly building one of Hollywood's most impressive business empires through savvy investments that had nothing to do with acting, proving that smart money management could be more valuable than any movie contract. This Virginia gentleman transformed his engineering background into financial wizardry that impressed even Wall Street professionals. Scott's Western films consistently perform well at the box office, making him one of the most reliable draws in the genre. But his real genius lay in recognizing these salaries as startup capital for much larger ventures. While other stars spent lavishly on Hollywood lifestyles, Scott quietly invested in oil and gas exploration, real estate development, and stock portfolios that generated returns far exceeding his acting income. Critics sometimes dismiss Scott's limited acting range, but audiences loved his steady, reliable screen presence that perfectly embodied the Western hero archetype. His collaborations with director Bud Boetticher produced a series of acclaimed films that elevated the Western genre, while showcasing Scott's understated acting style and natural charisma. Scott's investment strategy focused on natural resources and growth industries that benefited from post-war American expansion. His oil wells in Texas and Oklahoma generated substantial royalty income, while his real estate holdings in Southern California positioned him perfectly for the region's explosive development. Unlike many Hollywood fortunes built on fame alone, Scott's wealth came from diversified business interests that continued growing long after his retirement from acting. Number 5. Bing Crosby, $200 million. Bing Crosby revolutionized entertainment by mastering multiple media simultaneously: films, radio, recordings, and television, while building a business empire that extended into technology, sports, and real estate investments that made him one of America's wealthiest entertainers. This former law student from Washington State proved that diversification and smart partnerships could create wealth far beyond traditional show business earnings. Crosby's smooth baritone voice and relaxed screen presence made him perfect for the emerging media landscape, allowing him to command top salaries across multiple platforms while maintaining ownership stakes in various projects. His innovative use of recording technology, including early investments in magnetic tape recording equipment, positioned him to benefit from the music industry's technological evolution. Hollywood producers initially questioned whether Crosby's casual style would translate to film success, but audiences embraced his natural charm and musical talent, making his Road series with Bob Hope among the most profitable comedies of the era. Critics praised his versatility in both dramatic and comedic roles, recognizing his ability to adapt his persona across different genres and media formats. Crosby's wealth came from strategic investments in emerging technologies and growing industries that reflected his forward-thinking approach to business. His stakes in television stations, radio networks, and recording companies provided multiple revenue streams, while his ownership of the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball team demonstrated his ability to identify valuable assets across diverse sectors. His development of Minute Maid orange juice from startup to major brand sale generated millions in profits that exceeded his entertainment earnings. Number 4. Bob Hope, $300 million. Bob Hope turned laughter into one of Hollywood's greatest fortunes by treating comedy as a business and building an entertainment empire that spanned decades while establishing precedents for celebrity wealth that still influence the industry today. This British-born comedian proved that timing, both in comedy and investments, could create generational wealth. Hope's Road series with Bing Crosby demonstrated his ability to create bankable franchises that generated consistent profits while showcasing his quick wit and perfect comedic timing. But Hope's real genius lay in recognizing that celebrity status could open doors to investment opportunities unavailable to ordinary businessmen, allowing him to leverage his fame into massive real estate holdings and business partnerships. Critics sometimes dismissed Hope's formulaic comedy style, but audiences couldn't get enough of his rapid-fire jokes and self-deprecating humor that made him one of television's biggest stars. His willingness to entertain troops overseas enhanced his patriotic image while expanding his global fan base and commercial appeal across multiple demographics. Hope's investment strategy focused on Southern California real estate at a time when the region was experiencing explosive growth, allowing him to purchase vast tracts of land in areas that became prime development properties. His holdings in Palm Springs and the San Fernando Valley alone were worth hundreds of millions, while his diversified portfolio included oil wells, television stations, and professional sports teams that provided multiple income streams throughout his long career. Number 3. Mae West, $400 million. Mae West transformed controversy into cold hard cash, becoming the highest paid woman in America during the 1930s, while proving that challenging social norms could be incredibly profitable when combined with sharp business instincts and uncompromising self-promotion. This Brooklyn-born vaudevillian rewrote the rules for female stars and created a template for celebrity empowerment that still influences entertainers today. West's provocative stage plays and risque film roles generated enormous publicity and box office returns, making her one of the few performers whose controversial reputation actually enhanced her earning power. Her famous one-liners and bold personality created a brand identity so powerful that she could command unprecedented salaries while maintaining creative control over her projects. Hollywood censors consistently battled West's material, but audiences loved her rebellious spirit and witty dialogue, making her films hugely profitable despite, or perhaps because of, their controversial content. Critics recognized her talent for comedy and self-promotion, acknowledging her influence on both entertainment and American culture during a conservative era. West's wealth came from diversified investments that reflected her practical Brooklyn background and shrewd understanding of real estate markets. Her Los Angeles property holdings, acquired during the Depression at bargain prices, appreciated dramatically as the city expanded. Her jewelry collection, acquired with an investor's eye rather than mere vanity, became valuable assets that provided both personal enjoyment and financial security throughout her long life. Number 2. Charlie Chaplin, $500 million. Charlie Chaplin rose from London's slums to become the world's first global superstar, transforming poverty into unimaginable wealth through revolutionary filmmaking and business practices that forever changed how entertainers approach their careers and finances. This self-taught genius proved that artistic vision combined with business acumen could create both cultural legacy and enormous personal fortune. Chaplin's Little Tramp character became an international phenomenon that transcended language barriers, making him the most recognizable person on Earth while generating unprecedented salaries and profit-sharing deals that established new standards for star compensation. His co-founding of United Artists gave him complete creative control while ensuring maximum financial returns from his work. Critics and audiences worldwide celebrated Chaplin's unique blend of comedy and social commentary, recognizing his films as both entertainment and art that addressed universal human experiences. His perfectionist approach to filmmaking sometimes created budget overruns, but the resulting quality ensured lasting popularity and continued revenue generation decades after release. Chaplin's wealth accumulated through ownership of his films, smart real estate investments, and careful financial management that reflected his deep-seated fear of returning to poverty. His decision to maintain European residency during his later years provided tax advantages while his film library continued generating substantial licensing income. Even political controversies that forced his American exile couldn't diminish the commercial value of his artistic legacy. Number 1. Mary Pickford, $600 million. Mary Pickford transformed herself from an impoverished Toronto child into Hollywood's first millionaire and most powerful woman, co-founding United Artists and establishing business practices that revolutionized the entertainment industry while accumulating a fortune that made her one of the wealthiest individuals in America. This Canadian-born pioneer proved that talent, determination, and shrewd business instincts could overcome any obstacle. Pickford's rise began with her innovative approach to film contracts, demanding unprecedented creative control and profit participation that shocked studio executives, but ultimately established new industry standards. Her partnership with Charlie Chaplin, Douglas Fairbanks, and D.W. Griffith in forming United Artists created the first artist-owned distribution company, forever changing the power dynamics between performers and studios. Critics initially dismissed Pickford's America's Sweetheart image as limiting, but she leveraged this persona into international stardom while secretly building a business empire that extended far beyond acting. Her films consistently topped box office charts worldwide, and her careful cultivation of her public image created a brand that generated revenue through endorsements, merchandise, and licensing deals. Pickford's wealth came from her pioneering approach to intellectual property ownership, combined with savvy real estate investments in Beverly Hills when the area was still developing. Her famous estate, Pickfair, became a symbol of Hollywood royalty, while her business investments in oil, radio, and aviation positioned her to benefit from America's industrial expansion. Her legacy extends beyond entertainment to establishing precedents for artist rights and compensation that continue influencing the industry today. These Golden Age legends didn't just entertain us, they wrote the playbook for modern celebrity wealth. From Pickford's groundbreaking profit-sharing deals to Chaplin's international brand building, they proved that true success comes from owning your work, diversifying your investments, and never letting the studios control your destiny. Which of these business strategies do you think modern stars should adopt? And here's the real question that'll spark some heated debate. Were these Golden Age stars actually better business people than today's celebrities who make 10 times more, but seem to have less control over their careers?